And you start already correcting him and telling him you can't do that. Now, in 3 seconds, it might be settled and you have it under control. But if you're too slow, it's going to be 6 seconds and you might not even be on. Or 9 seconds and you're still on, but that's not a lot of fun. So that's the main reason why I'm prompting you to think fast, react fast, and process all this stuff. I understand it's a lot, but in 3 months, you won't think that much of it. In 9 months, you'll do all of what I'm saying, except one little thing here and there. And it will be normal. In a year, you'll do all this stuff normally. I won't bring it up because I don't need to. Take up the reins and seconds. It doesn't matter what you do. You can do whatever you want. But do it with quality. Good idea. How so here's how you fix that problem. Moving figures is often job, but it's on the wrong way. Neck it down, don't make your range too short. Soften his jaw and drop his neck down. Good. Don't make your range too short. Good. So as you shorten the rein, and he realizes this, he brings his head up, soften his jaw, and put his head down. But don't make the rein any shorter. And half halt here. See, most people, when they walk on a loose rein and then take up the reins, they do what you did. They non-stop contract and shorten the reins. Do it incrementally. An inch. Control him. Keep him solid. Half halt. The half halt on a long range is not that effective, but the point is half halt as opposed to nothing. And then shorten the range an inch, keep it supple, half halt. So it might take you one entire circle to actually get the range shortened. Guess what? That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
As long as it's done with quality.
Right, as long as you have it supple and you have quality. Okay, so you're in charge of the lesson now. You decide what you want to do. And if you said, oh my God, I don't know what to do, no problem. Yes. So what I need to see when you're riding, let's look at this a different way. I've already told you all I really need to tell you. Now, it's about you guessing. Okay, I'm going to guess that I'm going to trot him. I'm going to guess that he's supple enough on both reins and the riding is okay. And he's working over his back. So I'm going to guess that I'm going to do all these things. Perfect. Now, I've seen that you've done something. Here's what I get to say. Your geometry is very good. He needs to be more loose and supple on the outside rein when you move it. He's stuck. In fact, almost the sensation of counterflexion. Give and take on the right rein. And this is the part where I need you to realize something. It's the same right rein as a moment ago. A moment ago, it was an inside rein. Got it? It's still the right rein. So it doesn't matter which direction you go. You need to be emphasizing, I've got to have looseness in my right shoulder. I've got to give and take on this right rein and supple him.
There we go.
Yeah, see? And then you can feel it. This is ultimately the objective. I cue you and give you ideas. Like you said at lunch, you are my puppet on strings. I tell you to do what I would do if I'm sitting in the saddle. Do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm hoping that there's a conclusion. He actually does what I want him to do. And then you state, oh, I can feel that. That's the goal. The goal is to feel the improvement and memorize what that feels like. So if you don't have that feeling right now, you should do something about it. And if you don't have that feeling within 2 seconds, you shouldn't be trotting. Because if you keep trotting and you're trying to find this elusive feeling, and you're beyond 2 seconds, the probability that you're going to find it is around 15% out of 100. You should walk, supple it, find it and walk. Find the connection and walk. Supple it, good. Half full, kid. This is how this works. It's about a sensation, it's about a feel. Gravitate to the feel. If in the halt, he halts beautifully on the bit, and super, walk on. If you walk on and you, in 10 steps, you lose this feeling you had in the halt, you better halt again. And you play that game until finally, when you leave the halt, he's actually quite correct, and you can possibly walk half a circle. No problem. That's normal. And then, if you can now do it in the walk, flex a little left and right is too straight. A little left, an inch left, an inch right. Because I don't think that you can do that. But you should be able to do that. And if you can't, that's called too stiff. So then when you would correct him in the walk, and he feels correct, you want to be able to go into the trot. Look at me for a second. Whenever you counterflex a horse, this rein always keeps him supple and half halts him. Because I want him to flex to the right. I don't want his rear end to swing in and his forehand to swing out. But I only said counterflex for a moment. So you have to find the feeling where he said, oh, good. How do I find it? Trial and error. Give different names. Yes, correct. If you can't find that feeling within 2 seconds, give different names. Perfect. Very good. Now this is a normal lesson, finally. You do stuff without making big mistakes, and I calibrate you. It's like being at the range. You put a new scope on your rifle. I'm spotting for you. Windage, you're too far to the left, you're an inch to the left. Elevation, 2 inches high. Shoot 5 shots. Don't make an adjustment after 1 shot. It could have been the wind, or it could have been you. Then keep it, make an adjustment. Then I'm going to tell you again, I'm calibrating you until it hits the bullseye. Patterns. Well done. That's a normal lesson. So in a normal lesson, the rider performs all of these tasks, and I calibrate you. More, less, good, got it. That's a normal super pattern. What's in the range? Good, do it again. And now you have to remember, I'm always going to throw out that word, like a frisbee, hurry. So when you do it, when I see you've got it, the next thing I'm always going to say, hurry. Hurry means trot, walk, trot, and do it again. As fast as you can with quality. So, when we perform a task, it doesn't matter what we do. And we are learning. We make all kinds of mistakes at the beginning. And we tend to be very slow. Over time, we make fewer mistakes. And we speed up. And then as we become a little bit more confident, we try to speed up a little more. Here's the question. How fast can you do all of this stuff while still staying in the 90s? Because if you get too fast, you'll drop down into the low 80s and high 70s. So like a machine in a factory, if we make this machine go too fast, this product that it's producing will be flawed or broken or ruined. So there's an optimal time. When you go in a factory, every machine that you see, it runs at a specific speed for a reason. If it's too slow, productivity is too slow. If it goes too fast, the components are broken or ruined. So there's an optimal speed whereby it produces a product correctly, but as fast as it can. That's you. I am your quality control. Good. Looks really good. Change direction, and let's see, looks really good in the other direction. Self-carriage. In a year's time, you'll be able to do this when you get on the mounting block effortlessly. Why will that happen? Because of the word quality. When he understands that everything you do is quality-based, you're very effective, and you tend to not repeat things. So, first time you asked, works really well. Good, relax your arms. Good. listen to this, this is great. A little bit more flexion right. Not, you don't have any, you need more, a little more than that, a little more. Yeah, good. Perfect. Now that's part of your half halt. Core, C, you close both reins, but the right rein says flexion, and you go back to self-carriage, and you repeat the half halt. Super. That is normal. Good. Got it. Good. How did you get it? Super. Rise and five. Totally normal. Don't lose the flexion. That's the first thing that's going to go. What I learned over the years is simply this. Whatever the most difficult thing was for me in any given day, I tended to always do that first. Because if you don't, it tends to get put to the end of the day, which then means it gets put to tomorrow. And this principle I always use in a horse. What does this horse not want to do today? He doesn't want to flex right. What's the first thing that I ask him to do? Flex right. Why? Because he doesn't want to do it. And I also know it's going to take a long time. So if I don't start right away, it may take longer than I have time to spend with him today. But that's not the important reason. Here's the really important reason. He would actually be conscious. He would know he's not really listening to you. And the longer that you would allow him to not really listen to you, empowers him to not listen to you. Got that? Walk it. When you get to the longer range, stretch forward and down. It's okay. You can do that. But listen, of all the things you would have done, that has to have a higher precision. Everything. Geometry, the trot, the balance. And when you get to a longer range, don't let it go loose. Remember the walk? Still keep a little contact and look, keep him supple. Otherwise, from his point of view, it would like be you. When you were in the military. Wow, everything is like regimented and organized, and there's a schedule, and discipline. And then this over here was like, well, no discipline. These things need to make sense. I have to listen to her, I have to listen to her. I have to listen to her a little bit less, but I still have to listen to her. Not, she must listen perfectly, and now I can do that. You have any questions? Yeah, okay, but listen, if you give them a loose rein, no horse will ever really move through their back. Because you need that connection to make that happen. However, I love your terminology. Think of what you said, moving through his back, and then attach everything to that. Like this walk, he needs to walk through his back. A trot, he needs to trot through his back. This means you have a connection. So when you explain and you feel that it's really quite soft, that's smooth. So when you ride him, your actual goal every time you ride him is smoothness. And eventually the goal is you get that from the mounting block when you walk away. And he's through longitudinally and he's through laterally. Half hold. Very good. Keep your connection. So, see, initially, I say things to you at half hold, last time I was here. But in reality, that is all designed to make the connection. Rise and trot. It's easier in rise and trot. Mount soft, reflection right. And when you don't feel the connection, well, you're the one who's in charge of making it. Don't say, well, I'll wait for him. Don't ever wait for a horse. Don't wait for him to make the connection. And don't let the reins get any longer. Otherwise, he's so smart, here's what he'll do. He'll pull the reins out of your hands, get them too long, and then he'll draw this front end